MPBOnline.org. This is MPB Think Radio, Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
Welcome back. This is Now You're Talking on MPB Think Radio. Question of the day. We want to hear your input on this. What's your best college memory or your craziest college memory? Either one. Give us a call at 1-877-MPB-RING. That's 1-877-672-7464. Bumpy out there today. Going to have some severe weather. We're already under a tornado watch for parts of West Mississippi until 2 o'clock. Includes most of the Delta. Just kind of give you an idea on that. Stay tuned. I think pretty much by the end of the day, most of the state of Mississippi is going to be under a tornado watch. We got a front blowing in with storms from Louisiana, so mostly likely it's going to be straight line winds, although there could be isolated tornadoes. We are in our second tornado season here in Mississippi. We want you to be safe because we want you back next Monday to listen to Now You're Talking. So we want everything to turn out okay. And my next guest is a marketing machine because he just tweeted out my cartoon. But first, he plugged the fact that he was going to be on this show today. Tim Mask. Tim, I tell you what, I have enjoyed getting to know you over the last few months because I have the honor of getting to MC something that I've always wanted to be part of. So I'm kind of cool. The upcoming TEDx.
That's absolutely correct. And I have to say, we are overjoyed and excited to have a creative economy icon as our master of ceremonies. You know,
I think you touched on something, the creative economy. And I think that Mississippi, I've asked this question. I asked it to Mac McAnally. I asked it to a lot of folks. What came first? The great stories of the great storytellers. But there's something about Mississippi that is special, is unique. I mean, I've lived a lot of different places. I've never lived any place that had as much raw talent and potential as this state.
That's right. We do have a lot of raw talent, and we've got a great history as far as being on the leading edge of the creative economy. But I've got to say that we've also got a great present and an even more hopeful future.
Right.
That's one of the points that we want to make sure that underscores TEDxJackson.
Yeah.
And the theme is fertile ground, is that we don't have to be as tied to our past because we've got a great future. We've got a growing, thriving knowledge economy.
Yeah. And you can tell by the lineup of guests that you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have, for TEDxJackson, we have CEOs, we have best-selling authors, we have rock star scientists, we've got Grammy winners, and we have the world's most famous amphibian.
You do. It's not easy being green, but he makes it look easy.
He makes it look as easy as it can. Absolutely.
Yeah. How did you manage to score Kermit the Frog for your TEDx?
We contacted Kermit's people.
Yes.
Let them know the kind of the idea behind what TEDxJackson was all about, that it was about creative economy, fertile ground, education, imagination. And they thought with Kermit's history being a Mississippi native.
From Leland, Mississippi.
They thought that would be a great homecoming for Kermit to come back and talk about his experience with creativity and imagination in children.
I was looking at your lineup, and I'm incredibly humbled even to be on the stage with a lot of these speakers.
Well, it is a wonderful lineup, I've got to say, of national and local talent. We are, I think you alluded to this earlier in the program, we are the last state in the union
to have a
TEDx event, but this is a case where being last means we're going to be one of the best.
Yeah.
It truly is an incredible lineup, and at the risk of sounding like a Billy Joel song, I'm going to run through our lineup here of both national and local speakers. We've got Marina Bears, who is a professor associated with Tufts University, and it's my understanding she's going to have actual robots on stage.
Oh, that's cool.
She has a robotics coding program for children. I don't know if the robots are going to fight, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Professor George Bay is a local speaker from Millsaps, and he also has the largest dig in Mesoamerica. It's a Mayan excavation, kind of a real-life Indiana Jones type story there. Damon Brown, one of our national speakers, is a best-selling author. He has spoke at some of the big TED conferences. He describes himself as a pop culturalist. I think that will be more than entertaining.
I think so.
Joel Baumgart, of course, great story from Mississippi's knowledge economy there, founder and chairman of Baumgart Technology Company. Gary Butler, who is also CEO of Camgia Microsystems that are working on real next generation solutions for what's coming with the Internet of Things. Of course, we're all familiar with Jill Connor Brown, multiple times New York Times bestselling author. Britt Fitzpatrick has been named one of the top 10 young professionals in Memphis. She is a social entrepreneur. She is CEO of a mentoring entity called Mentor Me. Christy Henderson is the Chief Innovation Officer at University of Mississippi Medical Center. She will be giving a demonstration of telehealth and how we can help to really improve the health of the people of our state through the technologies that are now coming online. Basti Jackson, great blues guy, great storyteller, who will actually be performing at an event after TEDx. As I said, the world's most famous amphibian, Kermit the Frog, will be making the first full-length TED Talk by a Muppet on stage at TEDxJackson. David McCraney is a William Randolph Hearst award winner in journalism, also an author from Hattiesburg. He'll be giving a talk. Hakeem Olashehi, if I say a rock star astrophysicist, if you're a geek like me and you're stuck to the Science Channel almost 24/7, you will have seen Hakeem in many of those Science Channel programs, and he's got a great story that he's going to share with us. Melody Moody is going to talk about the need for livable cities and bikeable cities in Mississippi, a movement that's getting just more inertia day by day. Joe Reardon, who is the former mayor of Kansas City, also oversaw the first wide-scale adoption of broadband, and Joe is going to be able to talk about how the broadband that's coming to Mississippi here with the fiber to cities that C Spire has taken the lead on.
It started with Ridgeland, and they're even talking of coming into Jackson.
Absolutely, and I think the plans are that's going to be, when it's deployed statewide, it will be the first statewide fiber broadband network. And Joe is going to talk about what we can expect to see from an economic improvement standpoint on that. Pam Shaw is president of P3 Strategy. She is a noted public policy analyst. Another CEO, Joe Stradinger, he's the founder of Edge Theory. He is just a serial entrepreneur is how I would describe Joe. Dr. Richard Summers is the head researcher at University of Mississippi Medical Center as well. And Dr. Summers is going to address some of the real leading edge clinical and technological driven innovations that is happening there at UMMC and across the state. Herman Taylor is the physician who was the director of the Jackson Heart Study, groundbreaking thing there.
And I just love listening. He could read the phone book, and I would listen to him.
Absolutely.
He's got this great voice, this booming voice.
Absolutely. That's what we cast that first for a booming voice, and he happened to be director of the Jackson Heart Study.
He just happened to be incredibly brilliant and smart.
It worked out well. Nick Wallace, who is a creative chef, and David Watkins Jr., who is a developer here in town, are going to give a talk about a new concept that they're implementing for local sourcing of food and creative culinary dishes. And then, of course, we've got Cassandra Wilson, Grammy winner, Mississippi icon, real treasure, is also going to give a talk at our event.
Number one, obviously, I mean, that is like major firepower. You got a really all-star lineup there. How long do you think this is going to last? You got a lot of people that are in there.
It is. We are currently scheduled to go from 8 in the morning until about 5:30 or 6. That night, and we will have a 10-minute break for lunch.
Okay, good. And a bathroom break.
It will be about an hour and a half break for lunch. It's taking place. The event is going to be at the Capri Theater
in Fondren.
The historic Capri Theater in Fondren. So great opportunities for all of the TEDx attendees to attend some of our best culinary treasures.
Yes.
In and around the city.
Well, how can people get tickets? Because I know obviously the Capri's not huge, but you're also going to webcast this too, aren't you?
We are going to live stream it. We'll have a link. We'll have a link available. We'll also have locations at college campuses and a few other places around the state where it will be live streamed. To apply for tickets, go to TEDxJackson.com, click on tickets.
That was why I agreed to MC, so I could actually get to see the thing.
Absolutely.
If I could get in the door.
Well, one of the rules of TED, it is an independently licensed event, which means you basically abide by all the rules of TED.
Right.
And TED requires you to curate your audience. They want to make sure that you have economic and cultural diversity represented in the audience. So it's not necessarily a first come, first serve. We're going to have total capacity of ticketed seats in the Capri of 300.
Yeah.
So I would encourage everyone, go TEDx.com, TEDxJackson.com, click on tickets and apply for your tickets. And within about a week, I think you'll be notified.
Talk about the creative economy. And, I've watched my business change considerably since I came here in 1997. But I've watched Mississippi change considerably, too. Technology has made a huge difference. But then again, things like NAFTA have, too. It used to be you could grow up in a small town in Mississippi and pretty much, if you dropped out of school, you could go work at the mill. Can't do that anymore. Mill's gone.
That's right.
But that's the bad news. The good news is because of that technology, because of that broadband, you have got opportunities here in Mississippi that you've got the same opportunity that you would have, say, in Atlanta or New York. You can have the same connections. You can literally make it here just like you could make it anywhere. So we've now got, thanks to the gift of technology, the ability to stay here in Mississippi and do amazing things because we got the talent.
Absolutely.
And now we got the means to make it happen.
That's absolutely right. And so much of our economy, during the 20th century, we were an industrial economy for the greater part.
And agriculture.
Agricultural and industrial. And as the latter half, or the latter decade or so, we really moved into a service economy. Well, what we've seen now is we're moving from a service economy into a knowledge economy, which is a huge opportunity for Mississippi. Just as you mentioned, you don't have to be necessarily tied to place to exceed in a knowledge economy, because you can take a $400 laptop and write code that's read the same across the world. You don't have to necessarily invest in mega amounts of infrastructure to produce something of value.
I drew a cartoon this weekend, and on one of my Facebook accounts, it was seen by 250,000 people. And I did that from Mississippi.
That's incredible.
So you can do that, and that's what's great. And what I love about it is that your lineup of guests are kind of taking every different direction of the creative economy and tying it all together with one golden thread.
That's right. And I said the theme was fertile ground, and we really tried to focus on the areas of education, the areas of healthcare, and the creative economy, which includes the arts, it includes health, it includes technology, it includes entrepreneurialism, those things, and all of those areas our state is so rich in.
Yes.
And lots of people don't realize it. And I would just say that you were talking earlier about the attention that's being given to Mississippi now that we're the center of the college football universe.
That's an opportunity.
It is a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
To dispel a lot of the myths. We have the nation's eye on us now. We need to be talking about all of these great things that are happening across the state, all of the technology, all of the knowledge economy that's rising. Well, now is our time.
It sounds like you found a great way to do it.
Thank you.
Tim, once again, the website?
TEDxJackson.com.
Tim Mask, I appreciate you coming in today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Appreciate. Well, coming up next, the question of the day, what's your favorite memory in college? Or what's your craziest memory? Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. 1-877-MPB-RING. That's 1-877.